Thank you. Boy, what a great pleasure it is to be here. I love seeing everybody. It's very nice to see everyone, and Tom, nice to see you again too. Today, I get the huge honor of introducing Joan Maxwell of Regulator Marine to the Industry Hall of Fame, and it's a true pleasure. She's a class act. Through her determination and wonderful faith, Regulator has grown to be a leading manufacturer of offshore boats, earning the reputation as one of the most respected brands in our industry for the last 30 years. Founded by Joan and Owen in 1988 in an abandoned AP grocery store, Regulator set out to reinvent the deep V center console business and the experience those consumers have. The company now operates in a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility in Edenton, North Carolina, where their team continues the legacy of Joan and Owen, started many years ago. Joan has long been actively engaged in the MMA. Joan became the first woman chair of the board during a very difficult time. She remains currently as one of the board members of the boat side. Her passion is to personally live Regulator's mission, to build the best center console sport fishing boats with people, processes, and resources to honor God, and lead her team to do the very same. She demonstrates and demands the highest levels of integrity of her leadership team, and this extends to the factory floor, where team members take pride in the company's motto, quality before delivery. Joan's dedication to service is evident not only in Regulator, but also in her local community, where she currently serves on the Edenton-Chowan Partnership Board, where she established a volunteer program at Regulator Marine, which pays employees regular wages while volunteering their time in local organizations of their choosing. In 2018, Joan established in his service a program at Regulator, which oversees Regulator's charitable giving, and also employees' assistance funds. Currently, she is a member of the C12, a Christian-based leadership roundtable that focuses on building better businesses for a better purpose. Joan's honors include the Hammond Marine Industry Award, the Darling Bridge Women of the Year Award, and the National Associations of the STEP Award, and now the NMMA Hall of Fame. Her leadership inspires all of us. Not just in building the best boats, having great service, and wonderful life on the water. I have to say she is somebody who, if she's in your life, you get touched, and you're a better person because of it. So please welcome Joan to the MMA Hall of Fame Award. What a class act.
Wow, Ben. Bill, Malachi 4:2 from the New Living Translation of the Bible says, "But for you who fear my name, the Son of Righteousness will rise with healing in his wings, and you will go free, leaping with joy like calves led out to pasture." I don't know about you, Bill, but even though I'm not leaping with joy on the outside, I am leaping with joy on the inside. As a young girl growing up in a town of 300 people in eastern North Carolina, I never thought I'd be standing on the stage. As we in the South say, I am standing in high cotton with the likes of Bill Waters, Eddie Smith, Tom Domrick, and my special friend Chris Carroll, who are all members of this NMMA Hall of Fame. Way back in the 2000s, Chris Carroll invited me to fly to DC for what was then called LegCon and is now our ABC. I'm not sure what was more impressive at that time, Chris, flying on the Grady plane or being in DC. But not long after that fateful trip, I found myself sitting on the NMMA boat board. And those of you who know Chris know that if she is passionate about something, it won't be long before she has involved you. Chris has a saying, show up and do the work, but mostly you have to show up. So Chris, I must have shown up enough. So thank you for the invitation, and most of all, thank you for your friendship, sister. The industry is an industry of relationships. We enter the marketplace as competitors, and we enter the NMMA board meetings as professional and personal friends, whose goal is always to make boating the #1 leisure activity in America. Thank you to all the NMMA and BMD board members that I've had the privilege of serving with. You selflessly gave of your time and talents to make our whole association stronger. Frank, I'm honored to have been on the search committee that recommended you to the NMMA board as our next leader. I appreciate your positive attitude, your forward thinking, and I love your contagious laugh. The NMMA was a dominant voice in the recreational industry when you took the helm, and you're increasing that voice. Tom, you served this industry for over 19 years, uniting the fragmented groups and segments into one powerful voice. I learned so much from you, your calmness, your focus, your high standards, and your loyalty. When that leather book opened up and that pen came out, I knew that you had heard an important idea or thought. And secretly, it was always my hope that I would see you pick up that pen when I spoke. Tom, I'm humbled that you're here today to share this with me. Thank you to all the strong women in this industry like Marcia Cole, Wanda Kenton-Smith, Ann Baldry, Michelle Goldsmith, Ann Dunbar, and the young, fearless female leaders of the NMMA, Jen Thompson and Ellen Bradley. You all have inspired me with your tenacity, joy, incredible knowledge, and wisdom. Ben, who would have thought that when you sold Regulator, that first pair of demo engines back in 1989, that both of us would one day be standing on this stage together? I am honored to call you my friend. At Regulator, we serve as stewards of God's business, living out our mission of building the best center console sport fishing boats with people, processes, resources to honor God. I'm grateful for the Regulator team, the ones who are here today and those that are back in Edenton. Your successes and your reminders that we are a broken people who are redeemed by a loving God serve to both inspire and encourage me every single day to look for better ways to run this business. I am grateful for every vendor who believed in a little boat company and kept coming all the way to Edenton when the volume we generated was likely didn't even cover your travel expenses. For every dealer and customer that God has sent our way over the past 33 years, I am grateful. Without you, we would just be fiberglass collectors. While I'm honored and humbled beyond what I can express to receive this recognition with all of you here, my brother Willie, my sisters Debbie and Diana, thank you for being here. Your presence represents the legacy of our parents to love, support, and always be there to share. Today, you are doing all of those things, and for that, I'm grateful. Thank you. Owen, what a ride. Starting out with the most unusual pickup line in history. Do you want to go and look at some soybeans? Truth. To asking me to marry you, to including me in your crazy idea of building a boat, which has turned into thousands. Together, we have built a company and a life. Today, on our 36th wedding anniversary, please know that I would do it all over again. Thank you for the gift of being both your wife and your business partner. And now, Bill, it's time for you to kick up your heels.
Now tell me, aren't we all a little bit better today because we had Joan in our life? It's awesome. Now I get to introduce Jay Patton to bring up the next nominee with the American Boat Builders Association.
Thank you, Ben. Congratulations, Joan. In continuation of this superior recognition, it's my honor to speak to the qualities and the work of my dear friend Bill Waters, who easily exceeds all qualities of an NMMA Hall of Famer. President of Syntec Industries, Bill has been a driving force in the recreational boating industry for more than 3 decades, selflessly contributing his time, resources, and leadership throughout his career. Bill proudly attended the University of Georgia, go Dogs, and graduated with a degree in agricultural engineering. Upon graduation, he began working at his father's yarn manufacturing company, Integrated Products, and he began selling yarn to Sea Ray. And after attending marketing days at the Miami Boat Show and MTech in Chicago, he realized there was a great potential for carpet sales in the marine industry. I think we're all glad that he did. In 1986, he and his brothers Tom, Thad, and Joe formed Syntec Industries, which has been a major supplier to the marine industry ever since, bringing innovative products to market and setting trends for boat builders that positively influence boat sales. Thanks to Bill's forward thinking, Syntec successfully weathered economic downturns and kept up with industry trends by diversifying its markets, including the RV industry in the 90s and the manufactured housing and multifamily markets. Bill's leadership and service have also been instrumental to the growth of the recreational boating industry. Every committee, every board, every industry initiative that he's worked on have benefited from his involvement. He has long been an ardent supporter of NMMA, serving in multiple roles on the MACD, NMMA, Grow Boating, and MLA boards, including chairman of each. He's been the AMD chair and vice chairperson and a member of the Recreational Boating Leadership Council. To help expose boat builders to the best suppliers in the marine industry, Bill has also been a driving force behind IBEX and has served as IBEX Planning Committee chairperson. Bill gives back to his community in so many ways with his time and financial support. He supports multiple youth groups, local organizations, and charities in his hometown of Rome, Georgia, including the Darlington School Board, YMCA, JC's, Boy Scouts of America, Floyd Healthcare Foundation, Kiki's Kids, Coosa Valley Soil and Water Conservancy, and Development and the Georgia Soil and Water Conservation Commission, to name just a few. In his free time, of which he has very little, Bill helps his wife Judy run Oakdale Farms, raising Black Angus cattle. They have 2 children, Will and Landon, and are proud grandparents to William, with another grandchild on the way. A champion for the boating industry, Bill has a servant's heart, and there is no doubt that the business of boating is better because of his efforts. I am so pleased to welcome my dear friend Bill to the Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Jay. I'm not one of these guys that likes to be talked about in front of a few people. There's a lot of people out there. You know, and the shocking part is I know most all of you. That's the unbelievable thing. And it's been a long time. This is Syntec's 35th year in business. As Jay said, we started in 1986, and it was just a side thought at that time. And I remember the first year we did a whopping $100,000 in business. And it wasn't long, probably we were in the second year of IBEX down in Miami that we showed in it the first time, and then we kind of drifted away because we were soft goods and all that was mechanical stuff, so we moved away from it but came back in the Fort Lauderdale years and have been with it ever since, and I've done a lot with the IBEX trying to make it one of the best shows around, and it's really, really, really changed, and I'm tickled to death to be down here in Tampa and welcome every one of y'all to IBEX 2021. I'm glad we're back together. And it's I have a lot of people, to be thankful for. I thank God that I'm standing here today. I'm not one that ever pushes to be the one that's up on a podium like this in front of you. I'm just tickled to death that I'm here. I was in Italy when I got the call from Susie and Sally and Frank. It's like I was in a meeting and my phone just started buzzing and buzzing and buzzing and buzzing. I was like, okay, guys, I got to take a break and go figure out what's going on here because I was scared something had happened to somebody. And, and then I go in there and I call Susie and Sally first, and they dropped the bomb on me, and I went, oh. And I was a bit shocked, and I really was, I guess you can express it by I was excited, and I'm honored, and I'm very humbled all at the same time. And you don't know how to think about it for the longest time, but I'm very excited to be here. I've spent most of my life now being a part of this organization, being a part of MMA. You don't think about how much time you spend with NMMA, but gosh, Tom and I have become close friends through NMMA, and that's been over the years. We've worked together for many of the time that he's been here with NMMA. I've been a part of it. And I remember, I wish I knew the year that he first came to visit me at Lake Altoona and sat down and started discussing, and I said, what's he doing here? I couldn't quite figure out what was he doing here. And my wife said, what's he doing? I said, I don't know. And ultimately, it was somewhere down the trail you realized what was going on. And as I moved up into the NMMA, it was amazing. And, if I left one thing with you today, I'm going to tell you to, take your time and be a part of our association. It's this association that is our industry. We own this association. And if we don't help this association won't thrive like it should. I mean, it's just, you've got to be a part of this thing. And there's something for everybody in here. And it helps you grow. And then literally it was back in the early days of IBEX that my brother Thad and I stood there, and there's Tina and Ann, and I said, we got to get to know these two or something. Then the other seemed to be the one with the power around this place. And I figured if I could get the power on my side, we could end up, possibly getting a better 10 by 10 space somewhere. and so we started working on that kind of thing. Well, before I slip away from what I should have been doing to start with, I want to thank my wife so much, Judy. She has literally stepped forward in our early days. I had to cover that up so I can even see her. In our early days, she pretty much raised our kids. I was on the road a lot, a whole lot. And that, I was at the Miami Boat Show the week before Will was born. And this is pre-cell phones back then, don't forget. So, she had no real way to get in touch with me. So I went and got a number at the front desk of who she could call and how they could track me down, and handed them pictures of me so they'd know what I looked like, so they could track me down if we were having a baby. But luckily I got home from that, and I've had two great kids, Will and Landon right here. They all came to support me, and I'm tickled to death. I told Will I wish he had brought little man with him, because that would have really been the love of my day. It's been a great week for Judy and I. Two of my loves are what I do at work, Syntec, and my other love is the cattle business. And we had two heifers we sold this past weekend in an Elite Angus sale in Missouri. And I mean, it was the best. This last week's, we've had the best 3 sales we've ever had. And so we're tickled to death with that, and then I come and have this happen to me right off this week. So it's been a great few days here, and I don't think I could ever get beyond it again. And I'm going to get back to this industry, and one of the things that everybody needs to do as they get involved is we need to support the boat pack. Don't get happy because I'm just helping you a little bit here. That is what will help drive and keep this group going the way it should be going. And we need to all pitch in and support the boat pack. Even if you just give small amounts, it starts adding up. If everyone in this room just gave $100, it would be amazing what we would build this thing up to that quick. But we need more than that. This industry needs to be supporting our industry. And that's how this industry grows from there. In 2020, I'll never forget, I was over in Thailand as the pandemic started falling around us some. It didn't seem like it was happening in the U.S. yet. And we were sitting there in Thailand thinking, we got to go back through Seoul, South Korea to get home. And we started hunting every other way. And we made it through Seoul and got home. A week later, we went to Colorado to see the little man and Will and Kelly. And I watched Colorado start collapsing around me, and we couldn't get out on our plane out of Montrose, got shuffled coming out of Grand Junction, got our planes canceled out of Grand Junction, turned around, and Judy and I had to drive home all the way from Grand Junction. I think that 25 hours is the longest I'd spent with her in a long time. But we drove all the way home, and by April 3rd, our governor pretty much brought us to our knees. I mean, we went from 700 people, basically in our area of Syntec, and we went down to 10 people left, and 8 of us decided we wanted to still work at the office, and 8 people, there was plenty of room to spread out to where you didn't have to worry about being near each other. And I said, if that's what y'all want, I'll be here to open the doors every day. So we kept going, and it wasn't long into it when I realized this thing's fixing to take off. And I called Ellen and talked to her some about it, and got Frank on the phone, talked to him some. I said, this thing's going to take off, folks. We need to be aiming for this. And it is amazing how much a pandemic has done for this industry. We have got a huge growth out of this and literally dropped the age level of people buying boats like you've never seen before. Something we've been working on for years happened right in front of us because of a pandemic. And we all, much as we hate to see this pandemic, it has been a gift to this industry. And as you've heard today, we need to literally solidify what we've gotten out of it, and we need to keep it going. And I encourage all of y'all to help be a part of it. And I want to leave it as, this is the NMMA, and this is your association. And if you're not, you need to be a part of it. And I'm excited to be up here, and I'm excited to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. And thank you all very, very much. And please stop by our booth over at IBEX.